Hi YouTube, the full setup here, back with my review of the Bayan Audio Soundbook. Now please go have a look at my channel. I have got unboxings, more sound checks of this, and lots of other Bluetooth speakers as well. I am a big fan of Bluetooth speakers, so go on, have a little look. You can hear all my thoughts and stuff, and please subscribe. Now, before I get to the review, I'm going to kind of go over the device, tell you a few things I like about it, go into kind of the sound, and then do a quick sound test as well. So here you can see it's really nicely finished. I went over this in my boxing. It's got this very nice ballistic material on the case. It's got the Bayan Audio logo at the top. It is in silver and blue, which is a silver aluminium, but they also do it in like a black with a more orange accent. Over to the back here, there is your input. There's also an output. I wasn't quite sure in the unboxing, to other speakers, which is really great. I really like the idea that, say if you went out in a park or something and you were your mates and they've got a speaker, you can actually hook their one up to this one and get a bit more sound. Now over to the top here, these buttons adjust for the radio, for the built-in radio, which we'll show you in a second. There's a power button here, which you can use to switch between all the inputs. As you can see, they've got this nice indentation, like your finger just slots into them. This LED strip is for the volume, so these light up, which we'll show you, and there is a little mic here, and then we've got the power buttons. So let's just get it open. Now when you open it, you can see it turns on straight away, which means I'm on Bluetooth. Now before I kick the stand back, here's the NFC. Now all you have to do is you have it flip back. You don't need to do it that way. I haven't got an NFC device, but I tested it with my friends last night, so just imagine my phone's NFC. And you just simply tap it on the back. It will ask you if it wants it to pair, and then you tap it again to disconnect. So that was really nice. So here you can see we've got the volume options. The volume LED has come up, so I can adjust that. Now, just a note for a volume, I do note this on some other speakers. Some speakers allow you to turn it up to the full volume via Bluetooth. Some, the volume's controlled on the device, which means, see as we've got it here, it's about 2/3, 3/4 of the way. That means when you adjust the volume on your phone, you're only going to get a max up to here. So, you probably are going to want to just leave it on max. And then you've got full control of 100% of the volume on your device. Now, it's pretty easy to pair up. It comes up as a Bayan Audio Soundbook anyway when you search for it on Bluetooth. As you can see, we get this nice blue light up here. It has already paired with my phone. Now, like I said, the power option switches your inputs. So that's for jack audio in, which is quite useful. And here's the radio. We'll get rid of that quickly. So we're back to Bluetooth. Now, one thing I've really liked about this speaker, before I get into kind of talking about the sound and the sound checks, is there's a lot of premium speakers on the market at the moment. I'm talking about your kind of 125 up to £200 little speakers, because it is very small. There's my camera that I normally use for comparison. Now, one thing that kind of annoys me about some of the smaller ones is they've got the price because of the brand, because of the name that they are. It's a premium speaker, but it doesn't actually pack premium features. Now this has got everything. It's got the built-in FM radio. You might just think, well, my phone's got radio, but to get your phone radio to work on the speaker, you need to use the auxiliary cable out of your phone into it, so you've got a cable in the way. It's really nice to have that. The NFC as well is a really good addition, and just the the general premium finish. The fact that it's got a case built onto it as well. I don't like when I go and spend 150, 170 pounds on a speaker, and then I have to pay 20 pounds more for a case. That's something that kind of does my head in. Just the built-in cool feature. It has everything, because this is kind of what you need to remember about these little speakers. They're not going to sound much more than a small speaker that's £100. So when I pay that extra, I don't want to just pay for brand. I want to pay for all these extra little features. That's kind of what I want from it. And the one thing I really like this, to talk about that little market again, before I get some, the sound checks and all that stuff, is I think the market's very split at the moment on like I said, those top premium speakers. Is that there's speakers for the sophisticated market, and then there's speakers for your kind of the youthful market that they package with an artist, and then that's where they spend all their budget. Now I think this really hits it straight in the middle. Like this version, the silver, white and blue, very good for your more kind of youthful stuff, but I kind of really like it as well. But the black as well, the black's really nice with the orange, so I just think this suits everyone, and I think that's where Bayan Audio have done really well. Okay, so the sound I was very impressed with it. You need to remember it is a very tiny speaker. Don't expect it to replace your stereo. One thing I've always found when I get these little speakers, because you spend so much money on them, is you do expect a little bit too much out of them. I use it for a couple of days, use it in lots of different situations, and you'll really, really warm to it. You know, this is your portable speaker. It's not a replacement for your stereo, but it's very capable. It's very nice in my room here. It's got a really nice fill-in sound. Like I always say, I love to use them in the kitchen because I love to cook. It is the winter at the moment, so I haven't been outside with it too much, but I did go in my garden because I live on a bit of a busy street, and it copes with getting over that background noise. So I think you'll really like it in that situation. Now the sound, like I said, very happy with it. Two things I can comment about it is, I think, which same with all these little speakers I say, is that the highs are a little bit too much, I found. I did just slightly adjust it on my EQ, but that's why we have EQ on the phone. Now the one thing I do like about it is I like the bass on it. Now these little speakers, it's something I keep saying on them, is they try to make this like too much bass. Some companies add too much bass, they try and make it rumble too much. Now what that does is it basically messes up, it just makes the sound horrible, it clouds all your mids and your highs, it just doesn't sound right. Now what Bayan Audio have done, which funnily enough is what the two other British speaker companies I've had out this year have done, is that they've created a very punchy bass, which just like it adds to a lot more sound. Like I said, you're not going to get that rumble, so then it actually gives to a really fuller sound. And I really like I listen to quite like a lot of electro UK bass music, and the way that this reproduces snares and kicks, I was really happy with it. So I think you'll really like it. It's a really nice looking speaker. Just before I do the sound test, I'll take you around it again. As you can see, it's just really, the build quality in this is like second to none. You'll really love it. I think the only thing that means you might look over this is just because Bayan aren't you know, they're not overly known yet. They've got some really good reviews. All their speakers have got really good reviews, so I suggest you go to their website and check out their docs. So let's do a quick sound test. Now I've got my microphone is in the middle of the room, so you can kind of get the room filling sound. Now the song is called Do Right. It's a Leo remix. I'll add his SoundCloud links in the description, but I will be doing some other sound tests as well, like I said, so please go and have a look at the channel. So there we go, there's just a quick sound test. I hope my mics really captured that punchy bass and that you can hear it in it. Just it is so much better than the speakers that kind of produce that rumble. So overall, I'm very impressed with this speaker. It is £150, it is a lot of money, but they just pack everything into it. It's premium built, it's got the built-in case, you've got the NFC technology, built-in FM radio, you can output it to another speaker, and I totally forgot to mention the battery life, which is good for about 10 hours as well. That's on Bluetooth. You will get a bit more out of it if you jack straight into it or have the radio. So I think you'll really love this. Like I said, this is the white and blue. You might want to have a look at it in black, but I highly recommend this speaker. Anyone that buys it, you are going to be very happy with this speaker.